Hey, Zach, you're live to the internet right now.
That was way quicker than I even thought.
Me too.
I was going to see how long I could be quiet before you said something.
I was thinking like a minute.
I was thinking, yeah. Minimum. Well, anyway, hey, welcome to the Outlaw Radio Show. My name is Zach Adams. Yeah, this is dysfunctional. I do pastor a church just outside of Athens, Georgia. The name of the church is Calvary 316. If you're local, come hang out with us one Sunday morning soon. Our service is at 10:30. If you're not local but looking for a good Bible teaching church you can hang out with online, connect with online, then I encourage you to check out, again, our website's calvary316.com, but our live stream, we stream to YouTube, calvary316.live, as well as x.com/Zach Adams, Zach_Adams, and facebook.com/Calvary316. So a lot of different platforms. Again, you can all find all of that information. Very cool. This, was it 2 Sundays ago, there was a new family that came to church, and I went up before the service, said hello, and they were from Savannah. They were making their way to Missouri, but they had been watching the service. They had found us on YouTube randomly. Found us on YouTube, started watching, became fans of Outlaw Radio. So they were watching their church services, Outlaw Radio, and they were knowing that they were driving through the area, timed it where they could come and visit us in person. And it was so cool. That was such a cool thing. They actually, I think, some behind the scenes connections to Vinny through the diesel world, which was also very neat. But there is quite a community out there. We don't know. We don't really track any data. We don't dive into the metrics. This is just something fun that we do. It's always a blast to know that you're watching. And so hit us up. Let us know, whether it's commenting on the actual live feed or sending us an email at popecrayton@gmail.com or hitting up any one of our X accounts. So I'm Zach_Adams. We've got Spice Daddy 316. We got Vinny Himes. And then we've got Pope Creighton. So you can find us on X, which is super cool. But let us know if you're part of the crew. And that really does go a long way. It's very encouraging to know that that this is not a ministry into the void, but it's actually reaching people, which is such a neat thing. And we do this not for numbers or attention or accolades or money. We do this because, well, the Lord called us to do this. And until the Lord tells us to stop, we'll keep doing it. And believing that he's going to take a couple loaves and a few fish, and he's going to multiply it and yield and increase, which is cool. I'm joined, as always, by the man that needs no introduction, Pope Creighton Vaughn, which I'll get to in a second. Also joined, and you can go to the wide shot. We got Spice Daddy, we got Dear Daddy. Fellas, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. You're looking a little disheveled. I'm going to be honest.
Had hair.
That is such a good...
It's southern winter time. It was a brisk 55 degrees today, so I had the beanie on.
So you had a beanie on,
yeah.
And you're like...
55?
It was like 55.
But we have heat in here, and you're like, I'm going to wear a hoodie, but I'm just going to go with the disheveled head look.
Whatever.
No, that's fine. I'm just was curious. I mean...
Yeah.
I think that we're all rocking 316 merch right now.
I'm letting my...
Well, I don't have...
I'm letting
I don't have the shirt on, but you have the hat.
I have a custom.
That I'm letting my winter mane grow out, so...
You have 3 different colored 316. You know, Jessica, when she walked in yesterday, because I was... So you can put this... I had a custom wool hat made because I'm a nerd and wanted a hat that was unique. And it's a prototype. If you'd like one, let me know. They're not cheap, but if you're willing to buy one, I will order you one, which is cool. I think a lot of these guys are going to do that as well. Mm-hmm. But Jessica walked in, and for whatever, I had the gold 316 hoodie on and this hat, so I was color coordinated. And Jess walked in after picking up the kids from school. She goes, "You look like you're a cult leader." Like you've taken, I think, the branding too far. I'm like, no, we've not taken it far enough.
That's so funny. I was thinking recently, so in the last show, I had that Abolitionist Rising shirt, the women are not sex objects, babies not body parts shirt. Mm-hmm. And after I bought that, I decided that from now on, all of the t-shirts that I buy are going to be branded for a message of some kind. Unless it's like I'm gonna still own white t-shirts, probably some solid colored t-shirts.
I don't disagree with you.
I think that everything is going to be either, Get Fed Today, C316, Outlaw Radio, or something,
or a Masters polo,
or a Masters polo. That is the other category, which is golf shirts.
Masters polo,
right? Those are
because
golf
you have
shirts
a hookup. You happen to have a hookup.
But like,
I'm not going to wear a Callaway or a Nike.
I am. No, it'll be Masters. But yeah,
Hey, supporting a Lost Boy.
Yes, it is.
That's right.
Boy, that is a throwback.
Yeah. Supporting a Lost Boy.
But yeah, I think that all of my clothes I could feasibly make where everything that I wear is a billboard for something that I care about.
True.
And want to be
True story. True story. My dad, there was a season of life where we were not allowed to have any branded clothing.
Really?
My dad didn't wear branded clothing, and as a kid, we didn't have branded clothing. And I remember asking my mom, and my mom said, "Well, your dad feels like we shouldn't be advertising for a brand if we're not getting paid for it." And I was like, okay, I think I understand that. It's just very difficult.
Are we supposed to get paid for wearing this stuff?
No.
No. No,
Heavenly rewards, actually.
You guys are getting paid.
Heavenly rewards. All right, Pope Creighton, explain how the dysfunction works.
So it doesn't, as you can see. Basically, the way
it's
the show
working
works
well.
is we have a few segments that we're going to do throughout the show. I'm going to have an ifs today, which is where I talk about science. Spice Daddy is going to have a Pepper Poppers, where he's going to talk about his favorite Christmas carol of all time. Yep. And interspersed between those, Zach is going to have a topic he's going to talk about that I believe this week is titled The Ho Ho Ho's of Christmas.
That is correct, Pope
It's
Creighton.
going to be very fun. Also, Outlaw Radio is brought to you by our sponsor, another podcast that we put out called Get Fed Today, which is a podcast, like I said, we make, and every Monday we put out...
When we say sponsor, it's more of like, we just do this. There's no sponsorship.
Well, there's no money, but it is sponsored. It is, yeah. They
It's more like
pay
a
us
shout
because
out.
it's us, and it doesn't make money, and we don't make money. But they are...
But Elon Musk says we won't need money at some point. So
I didn't know he said that.
We're all
Boy,
good.
is that scary.
Pretty sure that happens
Anyway.
during that 1,000-year reign of Jesus.
And we will still be doing all
also,
this.
depending on how you describe money, it would also happen with the Mark of the Beast.
Okay, we just took a hard right.
Yeah. So
what else
Get
is
Fed
new?
Today is a podcast where you can go to it. It's on all the podcasting things. You can go to it. We drop 5 Bible studies every Monday, so you can have a new Bible study every day of your work week. So that if you're not getting fed enough, because one meal a week is not enough to sustain you, you can find five different pastors. We have, I think currently we have 30 pastors altogether that we
Roughly.
cycle through. And so currently on Get Fed Today, we have about 750, I think, Bible studies up. So if you aren't sure what you want to find, scroll, look for a title that sounds interesting, click it, listen. If you like the guy who spoke, you can go to his website. If you don't, pick another one, listen to him.
I will also add, again, Christmas season. If you're, I would say your teenager and up is a reader, and you're looking to maybe buy a Christmas gift, something fun for them to get into. I'm a big proponent of reading. I think it increases your intelligence and your IQ. But often as a parent, it's hard to find good things for your kids to read that are different and engaging. There is a series of books that are on Amazon. They're called the Destiny's Edge series. As of right now, there are 5 books that have been released by Lee Stevens, who is a friend of our show, a brother in the Lord. These are not Christian novels, but it is a Christian writing novels. And his Christian faith definitely oozes through the pages of the books, meaning that you can feel assured that it's a fun, sci-fi, exciting, action-packed novel your kid can read, and you're not worried about sex or anything dirty or immoral. Again, there's a standard, an ethical standard, moral standard to these books that are great. So I encourage you to check out, especially this time of year, Destiny's Edge. Again, go to Amazon, just type in Destiny's Edge or Lee Stevens. You'll find these books. They're wonderful. I want to add, let me think here. How do I want to do this?
This is a good time to think.
Yeah, it's a good time to think in live action. And I'm totally blanking on the thought that I had. It was
Well, I mean, another book that's also sponsored.
not sponsored. You're just a huge fan.
I am a huge fan. An Amazon Christmas, written by one of my favorite authors, Jessica Adams.
And Emily Norris.
You can find it on Amazon Prime. Great book. I would classify it as Christmas fiction.
Yeah, for sure.
Christmas fiction.
And
indeed.
I love it. I can't wait for Lee and them to do a collab and maybe write a story about maybe Santa fighting aliens or something. I don't know. That sounds pretty cool to me.
Or like the reindeers get injured and they need some aliens to fill in to deliver gifts.
You know what I can see?
I'm an idea guy.
A lot of crossover options there.
There are
lots of crossover options. So let's dive right into the show. Again, Creighton had mentioned that the topic for tonight, we're titling tonight's episode "The Ho Ho Ho's of Christmas," which ironically was going to be the sermon that I was going to teach on the 21st, which is our Christmas service, and the Lord took me a different direction. I'm actually going to be able to stay in the harmonies of our history series and add a Christmas element to it. So it was like, I gotta punt this one for another year. And then Spice was like, no, you can't. We gotta
you can't. Because a guy at work, I told him you were thinking about doing something like that. He's like, oh, that sounds awesome. I want to know when it's happening. And I told him, hey, tonight's the night. And he was super excited. Mark, this one's for you. Shout out to you.
So we will talk about the Ho Ho Ho's, and that is a play on words for the horrors of Christmas.
Zach, I love that you built in a nice euphemism, and you're like, forget the euphemism.
Let's rip the Band-Aid right off. No, so we'll be getting to it, and we're going to look at 3 different characters in the Bible that were hoes, and as we work our way through them, you're going to be like, I have no idea how this has anything to do with Christmas. And then at the end of the show, we will pivot. We'll tie it all together. And as Creighton mentioned, we're going to weave some things together throughout the show. Let's start, though, very quickly. So season 2, episode 8 is titled The Truth Revealed, House of David, which is on Amazon Prime / Wonder Project. Thoughts that closes the season out, so it closes out season 2. Your thoughts on things?
Unlike the last
because we have not said anything about this at all leading up to tonight.
Unlike the last episode, I really, really, really enjoyed this episode, and even though, I've been fighting the urge to binge watch because you guys always get on to me for that
because we're supposed to be going episode by episode,
right?
So we can do these reviews.
And that got mixed up because I'm now in my Christmas movie watching season. And so I completely forgot. So I was like working it in between customers at work watching it.
Right.
And oh man, it was a good episode. I really enjoyed it. There were a couple things that have progressed throughout the whole 2 seasons that showed up pretty prevalently. I can't say it.
You still couldn't get there.
I know I could, and which I don't like, but overall, this was a great episode.
It could have easily been the best episode of the season. I would agree with that.
I really enjoyed it. I agree with Justin. There was one thing that really, really stuck in my craw, but on the whole, I thought it was a great episode. I thought they set up some things really, really well that I'm very excited to see the culmination of. And actually, before you got here, because you came in kind of hot at the end before we started the show.
Yeah, I had a basketball game tonight.
Justin and I were talking earlier about
got a big W, right?
Got a big W.
Hey,
all right.
Congrats,
right.
Q. And Justin and I were actually talking.
Hey, Quincy
and
actually scored 14 tonight.
Rethink something.
Sorry, Creighton, I interrupted you, but you brought that in. Quincy scored 14 tonight. He scored almost half the points.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he hit 3 threes. It was great from the corner.
Good for him.
Yeah, I have to keep the book for the coach so I can keep my mouth shut. But I'm close enough to not keep my mouth shut.
That is a.
But I'm not around any other human
coach
beings.
Is but that guy knows what he's doing. Having you keeping the book. So you cannot.
No, he didn't do it. I told him because it's a new coach. I did this last season. I told him, hey,
I got to keep the book.
I'm running your book. Trust me. You'd rather me be over here than over there.
Yeah, I can believe it.
You can believe it. So back to the episode.
There was a thing that Justin and I talked about that we'll get into later in the review that I thought was going to be a big hurdle that Justin actually, we talked about it, and I don't think it's going to be as big of a hurdle. I'm very excited for the next season. I think it's going to be, if they do it well, it's going to be fireworks. It's going to be great.
Okay, hold that thought, because I want to know what you're referring to, because I have a lot of thoughts on it too. Dear Daddy. I mean, you kind of cheated.
I did. I cheated. So I didn't realize I cheated. Last week when I was watching episode 7, apparently I got up and went to the bathroom or let dogs outside or something, and episode 8 just started, and I didn't realize I watched episode 8.
You're like, dang, 7 is like 2.5 hours long.
This is a really long hour of television.
7 could just not be there, and you would have been fine.
Oh, I love 7. I choose to be entertained by this show and not pick it apart, so I enjoy every episode.
It's good. No, but in all honesty, though, that's a good
perspective to have.
Exactly.
I feel like if it gets people into their Bibles, there is no wrongdoing.
I agree.
And it's got me into my Bible. I'm always in my Bible, but
well,
it's got
I would
me
hope
deeper
so,
into
because
my
your
Bible.
pastor got you into your Bible in this section of Scripture.
Well, it's like I want to make sure the show is factual, and so I find myself after watching an episode, I pull up my Bible and I find that portion of the story in my Bible and read it, and I'm like, maybe they were a little fast and loose with that, but it was entertaining. But
so let me actually, before we get you guys' additional thoughts, let me maybe address that angle of this from the biblical narrative. Let's be honest in the sense that the Scriptures don't tell us the whole story.
right.
They tell us what we can believe to be true, but they don't give us all the details. And we are, so between David and Goliath and then David on the run, it's like a 2-year span that covers like a chapter and a half.
Yeah.
So there's a lot
to fill in.
There's a lot of things that happen. And if you're telling a story to an audience that maybe don't know anything, you are trying to develop a continuity of plot. So you can hammer something. I had done when we first started this. I did all right, here's some rules for creative license. And I actually went back and I reviewed them. And I think they all still are very much applicable to this. And we'll review them when we go into season 3. But so the concept of so there are multiple instances that Saul's throwing spears at David. The idea of that happening on the wedding night of him and Michael is not biblical. But they can't, I mean, what do you do? There's not enough material. So the fact that they were like, all right, we're going to condense all of this and we're going to make this division happen very quickly. And we're going to set but they stayed true to some biblical things. A great example of this is they added elements of Michael's involvement with David's escape where she hides the mannequin. That was a biblical element. Mm-hmm. They had Merab plant the lie that David had threatened her life. That's not biblical, but at least it kept a biblical element at play, because we don't know if David knows that or not. We don't really know how a lot of the particulars of those things. I love the fact that they sped up so David and Jonathan go back and forth for quite a bit of time, but they sped that up, but they kept the thing where Jonathan's shooting the bow and that whole scene where they're saying goodbye. And then Jonathan's you're going to swear to me that I know how kings work, but you're going to take care of my family. And they'd already she's pregnant with Mephibosheth, who becomes a big character. I love that. That was very biblical. Okay, Samuel, David going to Samuel, biblical. Samuel standing in the divide being blah, 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 blah. Not biblical, but there's still some elements of that is true. But they just condensed some things into a scene.
So I really, really enjoyed the way they condensed the entire fallout between David and Saul. I agree with you. I really enjoyed that, because that is a whirlwind that they could have gotten swept away and been who knows where by the end of.
They could have taken creative
anywhere.
They could have taken creative license to try to fill space.
Yes.
And gotten way off the reservation, and they made a creative decision. Hey, let's kind of condense this, hit the highlights, but let's move this. Let's get David on the run.
Yeah,
is ultimately what this season wanted to accomplish. Now, the whole scene with Nob, the city of the priests, David going there, getting the sword of Goliath, all biblical. Now, again, David goes out on his own. He goes to Gath, pretends like he's crazy before all of the guys show up at the cave of Adullam. But they condensed a lot of that where they brought the guys to him. They set the stage. I don't have a problem with that. Again, you're using some creative license to try to propel the story forward and not getting stuck in the mire. I don't mind that. I loved the way they did with Eliab. I loved Joab. Again, bringing Joab around, and then they still have, they've established the men of valor very well, which I really do like. And then though, like Abner saying, "I'm not going to kill the priests," and Doeg's like, "Oh, I will
gladly."
That's probably my favorite scene.
But that's totally
enjoyed
biblical
that as well.
Like that is very. And then that one scene where Doeg sees David as he's leaving, that's a biblical scene. So I thought they did a really good job, and this is why I probably agree with you. I like this one more than the previous, is that they added so many biblical elements. I think it's, again, they obviously have written out Saul's wife. They've written out Samuel. I also think that that's appropriate at this point in the show.
So can I get on a bit of a soapbox for a second?
Pause for a second. Okay. Hold that thought. The other angle that I might have not liked, but I'm okay with, is so, and again, Ishbosheth, what's his name? What do they call him? The other son of Saul.
I always think of
Ishbaal.
Yeah.
So, like, again, that was the grand reveal at the end of the episode that, like, oh, he didn't kill the king of Edom. Like, he's been in cahoots because he wants to be king. And you're like, well, where is any of this in the Bible? And it's not. It's not. However, when Saul and Jonathan die, and David is still on the lam, Ishbosheth will become king of Israel. He will take the throne, and Abner will be behind him in doing so. And that'll last for 2 years. He'll get assassinated. There's a whole falling out, and Abner will come to David and try to, like, make accord and peace until he gets killed by Joab. Spoiler alert. There's nothing really written in regards to backstory of how any of that happens in the Bible. So they've decided, again, going back to last season, to write a bit of backstory so that when that does happen, there's more depth to it. At this point, I'm okay with it.
That's not what I had problems with.
Agreed. I'm
okay. What did you have problems with, Spice? We'll go with you.
We talked about this before we started today. Same thing I've had problems with this entire season would be the mysticism surrounding, I guess, Samuel and the way things are approached with, like, the curses and stuff like that. I had more problems with the scene where he's standing in the middle of the road not letting them pass than I did with any of the other scenes in this episode.
I don't disagree with you.
That is my biggest issue with this episode is Samuel's, like, he's bleeding from his nose, that whole deal. Major problems.
Again, if they wanted to make it biblical, then you have Saul start prophesying and praising God.
Right. And so
that would have been a biblical. You could have taken the same scene and the reaction instead of the torment would have been like Saul starts praising God.
Right.
And they all do, and they're like, Saul's a prophet.
Right. I'm more okay with I'm okay with them portraying Samuel as, like, this crazy old prophet. And I like Samuel's character in this stuff, but he's more Gandalf than he is biblical prophet.
He's the bad guy off Avatar. He's the bad general dude off Avatar.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he totally is.
Like the actual character.
On that.
The actor. Yeah, he totally is. I did not recognize that.
Changes everything.
Change your subject. The guy's awesome. I totally get it.
You know what? Way more range than I thought for either character.
Yeah, we were sitting there watching
wild.
it with the kids, and I said that, and both my daughters were just like, "No freaking way!"
That's funny.
But that's the only
funny.
that's the main thing I've had problems with this entire show has been the way they've handled, like, God seems more, and specifically God with Samuel and the Holy Spirit and stuff like that within this. It seems more magical than it does anything.
Okay,
And
can I give you a counter argument? I don't disagree with you, but let me give you where I think they did attempt to balance that in this particular episode. And tell me if I'm wrong. Because I don't disagree with what you're saying on that particular scene. But if you go back, when David shows up and he's there with Samuel.
I really enjoyed that scene.
And Samuel's like talking about how you hear God.
Right.
And David's like, I haven't heard God, but I want to hear God. And Samuel's like, so much, it's been turmoil, but now it's been like psalm. And it's like, they show the instrument.
No, and I wish they would have kept that character side of Samuel.
Don't you think there was a balancing act to
No,
that?
I don't think there is, because they seem more like Professor X than he did.
So can I
jump in
from a
Pope's perspective?
From a Pope's perspective, someone who interacts with the fantasy genre a lot. The problem that I have with Samuel's characterization, specifically in this episode, is that when he is casting, when he's using. So here's the issue. It seems like, from the way that the show is presenting Samuel, that he is doing something that is doing all of this stuff to Saul and the people around him, such that in doing this, it is causing his nose to bleed and ultimately kills him.
I get you.
And the thing that I thought of when I was
that
watching
doesn't make
that,
any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
The thing I was thinking of Elijah when he's on the mountain with the prophets of Baal, and they're cutting themselves and trying to get their God to work by harming themselves because they see their sacrifice as the payment for their God to do work. And Elijah's like, no, my God just works. I don't need to cut myself. Him working does not harm me because I am not doing anything. Samuel, like, bleeding from the nose and then dying from the exertion means that Samuel was exerting himself.
That's a
which
totally
doesn't make sense.
That's a fair criticism.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh, for sure.
Samuel doesn't exert himself when God works because God works, not Samuel.
I think
it really upset me. I really dislike that part of the show.
And a great episode, which I think we can all agree.
Agreed.
That was an unforced error.
Agreed.
In fact, the way that you depict that, I very much appreciate, because I'm not a big fantasy guy in that sense. But like what you're saying really does strike a chord because it is antithetical.
Yes.
To the way that God interacts with humanity, especially his people.
Yes.
Like the fact that Samuel dies from that
it means that he's
bizarre.
sacrificed.
It's bizarre.
Which doesn't make sense.
No, and nor it doesn't make sense, and it's not biblical. And again, I might even feel strongly enough to put that as the 1A or B to the David's mom being like
whatever it is they're trying to say she is.
That's a big enough error, I think. I didn't think of it in that full context, but now that you've articulated the way that you did,
it's the same thing that happens to Eleven off Stranger Things when she uses her superpower. She gets a bloody nose and she's exhausted, and then she can't do anything for
because she is exerting power.
Yeah, they took that.
Okay, I'm not a big fan into demon worship, so I don't know what the heck you guys are talking about.
You ever seen Stranger Things?
Zach doesn't do horror of any kind.
I wouldn't even classify Stranger Things as horror.
I also wouldn't classify The Walking Dead as horror.
Dude, it took me one episode. Took me 42 years to watch Goonies.
Yeah, but you do a really mean truffle shuffle.
Hey,
Put it on the screen.
you want to tell that story very quick? No, we're not putting that on the screen.
I don't have it. Calm down.
I will at least let you tell the story.
All right, so Zach goes to Oregon to visit his grandma.
Last week, 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
and he's like, "Hey, I'm in this city. What movie is filmed there?" Astoria.
We're driving through Astoria.
And I was like, "Oh, it's Christmas season."
Okay, pause. We're driving through Astoria. And I'm like, and if you've been following the show, I recently watched Goonies. We're driving through Astoria on the way to Long Beach, Washington. And I'm like, Jessica, this looks like this almost identical to the Goonies. Like that house even. And my boys in the back seat were like, Dad, I think that's the house. I'm like, Jess, you got to look this up. So we're still going through town. And we get to the other side of town. She's like, oh my goodness, this is absolutely the town of the Goonies. That was that the house is still there. We need to go back. I'm like, we're not turning around right now. But we need to text Justin. Jump in.
So I was like, he goes, "What movie?" I was like, "A Christmas Story," because like
Wrong.
I was wrong. It was in Indiana that would happen. And then like
Wrong.
I started looking up. I was like, wait a minute. Before I even Googled it, I was like, oh, the Goonies. And anyway, I was like, I need proof.
You said I need the truffle shuffle.
I need the truffle shuffle. And like within a week, Zach sent me a picture of him in front of the house doing the truffle shuffle.
I've seen. It's not a picture, just for the
was a
record.
video.
It's a video.
It's a
Video of
So-
him doing the truffle
so-
shuffle.
It was awesome.
We were leaving early in the morning, going south down the Oregon coast. And it was like, all right, we got to go check out the house. And so we went over and we saw the house. And I told the boys, I was like, we're doing the truffle shuffle. It's like, Dad, we're not doing it. I was like, if I do it alone, you're going to lose your electronic devices through Christmas. No, I was alone.
Yes.
But we got there and it's like, it's a literal neighborhood. And like these people, people live in the house. Like it's like and they have signs like, don't disturb the peace. And it's like, this
Hey, don't come here and do the truffle shuffle.
No, it's
This movie-
don't go show up and go, "Hey, you guys."
there's a sign that literally says, hey, you guys. And then the instructions are below it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's like, okay, we're way late. This is 40 years old. You know, the signs to like, when was the last time anyone came up here and did this? So I pull up the car. They all jump out to go. And I'm keeping it running. You know, they go take a picture. They come down. Jess gets in the car. It's like, did they do the truffle shuffle? She's like, they chickened out. I was like, woman, let's go. And so we went running up there. I did the truffle shuffle.
It was awesome. It's one of the highlights of my life.
And I said, Jess, send it to Justin, just so there's evidence. And then Justin was like, it's going to be on Outlaw Radio. And I was like, over my dead body. Anyway, let's get to the topic. Ho, ho, ho's of Christmas.
Good transition.
Yes. Let's start with the first ho. Genesis chapter 38. Yeah, we're going all the way back to the beginnings. Cool story.
The first hoe.
The first ho. The ho of the ho, ho, ho's. First ho. Anyway, so you have, for some context, Abraham, Isaac, Ishmael, chosen's Jacob. Jacob has a bunch of sons. One of those sons is Judah. Now, Judah ends up being like a significant guy because Judah, it's the tribe of Judah. Judah becomes the kingly tribe of Israel, meaning that like the descendants of Judah become like the kingly tribe, of which David would be included. But how does all that happen? Okay, Genesis 38, it begins. It came to pass at the time that Judah departed from his brothers, visited a certain Adulamite, whose name was Hira. And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite, whose name was Shua, and he married her and went into her. That means that they did the horizontal polka. So
What is that?
it's a sexual intercourse.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
My virgin brother. So she conceived and bore a son and called his name. And he must have been some dude because she goes, "Yer." His name's So she conceived again and bore a second son to Judah. And his name was equally great, Onan. And she conceived yet again and bore a third son and called his name, this is a little better, Shelah. It must have been a wuss. He was a Cherizib when she bore, blah, 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 blah. Judah took a wife for his firstborn. Her name was Tamar. So firstborn son, I need a woman. So Tamar marries the first son, but verse 7, but Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord. And so what happens? What does God do? The Lord killed him. That's it. Like, we don't know anything. Like, how did the Lord kill him? We have no idea. But the scriptures say he was wicked enough. He marries Tamar. God's like, that dude, nah. Whacked. So Judah said to Onan, second son, go into your brother's wife. That was a customary thing. Marry her. Raise up an heir for your brother. Totally legit, above board. Didn't have an heir. Tamar had never been pregnant. So dies. Wife goes to second son. And again, as bizarre as it gets, but Onan knew that the heir would not be his. That was true. And it came to pass when he went into his brother's wife, that being Tamar, that he admitted on the ground lest he should give an heir to his brother. So Onan's responsibility is to provide a child to Tamar so that has an heir. Now that heir of would be better than Onan because the lineage of the firstborn. So Onan, knowing his responsibility, has sex with Tamar. So he rocks his jollies, and like right when he's going to blow his load, he pulls it out, and the Bible tactfully says emits on the ground. So he's shooting all over the place, just not where it needs to be. Meaning Tamar's not going to get pregnant. Onan's gotten off. He's gotten his fun, but he's insulted his brother. He's insulted his father.
And he's insulted Tamar.
And he's more than insulted. He's abused her. Like, this is incredibly wrong, which then explains why in verse 10 we're told, and the thing, man, if there ever was 3 words, and the thing, which he did displease the Lord. So you know what God did? Therefore, God killed him. So now Judah is down 2 sons. So Judah said to Tamar, so he knows the deal, says to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, remain a widow in your father's house till my son Shelah is grown. Apparently he's young. For he said, lest he also die like his brothers. So Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. So Tamar goes back. He's taken care of by her father. She's waiting for the 3rd son to get to marrying age. Now, in the process of time, the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died. So Judah's now a widow. And Judah was comforted and went up to a sheep shearers at Timnah, he and his friend Hira, the Adulamite. And it was told Tamar, saying, look, your father-in-law is going up to Timnah to shear his sheep. So she took off her widow's garments, covered herself with a veil, and wrapped herself, sat in an open place, which was on the way to Timnah. For she saw that Shelah was grown, but she had not been given to him as a wife. When Judah saw her, he thought she was a harlot, because she had covered her face. Then he turned to her by the way and said, please. At least he said please. You know, I've never really noticed that, but he was polite.
At least he said please.
At least he said please. That should be the title of a Bible study. At least he said please. Let me come into you. For he did not know that she was his daughter-in-law. So she said, what will you give me that you may come into me? And he said, I will give you a young goat from the flocks. And she's like, will you give me a pledge till you send it? Because again, who's carrying around goats? He says, well, what pledge? So she says, signet, and a cord, your staff. It's in your hand. He gave them to her, and he went into her. She conceived by him. Okay, we'll stop reading. I'll fill you in on the rest of the details. Again, a little recap. Judah, son of Israel. Judah will become the kingly tribe. Has 3 sons. First son, marries Tamar. Cool. He dies because he's wicked. We don't know anything about it, but he's wicked. God whacks him. They don't have kids. So the responsibility now goes to Onan, kinsman redeemer. Onan is a jerkwad. Does the dirty, doesn't leave any seed, spits it out on the ground. God's like, no, son, wax him. So Judah's like, all right, you can have Shelah. He's a little wuss, but, third son, you got to give him some time to grow up, be a man. Go back to your father's house. Now, Tamar gets the deal. 2 sons have gotten whacked. I ain't getting Shelah. Notices Shelah's old, still hadn't gotten him. So she notices that Judah, running with his bros, doing some things, coming to town. So she's like, I need an heir. Now, don't knock her. Like, she needs someone to provide for her. That's the way the culture worked. Not just that, but she's honoring her husband. Because, like, her child will be the heir of her husband's, like, lineage. Like again, it's hard to view this in a Western context, but, like, the thought process is very noble. But she's like, I'm in a tough spot. Like, I'm going to get, I'm being ignored. And so she's like, desperate time calls for desperate measures. And so she puts off the garments of mourning. She dresses like a whore, seductive, because Judah's coming to town, and Judah comes to town, and she makes sure she's flashing some leg in the right place, the right time. This man takes notice. His wife has died, so he's in like the mourning period. And he's like, little fun. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Does it. Now, Tamar's smart. She's like, hey, I'm not just a whore for jollies. I need some payment. He's like, I'll give you a goat. Well, okay. You got a goat on you? No. Well, how do I know you'll give me a goat? My word. Nah, it's not your word. I need your signet, your step. I need collateral. So you'll come back and pay me. That's the idea. So he hands over this stuff.
Identifying things.
Yes.
He gave her his driver's license.
Exactly. Passport identification, thumbprint. And so she sleeps with him, father-in-law, and she turns up pregnant. Now, fun fact, it becomes now known a few months later that she's pregnant. That word gets to Judah, who's like, I didn't want to give her to Shelah. So now that she's been knocked up, I can rid myself of this problem. We can just have her stoned to death. So they drag her out, humiliate her. There's a whole thing. And she's like, I shouldn't die. The guy should die too. And they're like, yeah, that's cool. She's like, I can identify him. And again, Judah's oblivious. She's like, by the signet and the staff. And then it's like, bum, bum, bum. And Judah's like, oh, man. This was me.
How'd you get my driver's license?
That's right. Funny. I got a funny story about driver's licenses we'll avoid, but Creighton, you got a funny driver's license. So again, this is one of the most, like, Genesis 38. Study it. Fun story. The first hoe of Christmas. And you might be like, what? Tamar, Judah, Genesis 38? What does this have to do with Christmas? Well, you'll have to hold out and find out. At this point, we're going to transition. A little tease. So we have an IFS with Pope C. IFS stands for Intersecting Faith and Science. Like how I did that?
I did.
With Pope Creighton. So roll the intro.
Pope Creighton's prayer, it rises high, where faith and science touch the sky. In the word and wonder truth is clear, God's design in every sphere. Oh, Pope Creighton dreams with heart sincere of a world where truth appears, faith and reason shine as one in Pope Creighton's prayer. God's will be done.
Idiot.
Thank you. Hello, everyone.
Intersecting faith and science.
Boy, I was hoping to take that 45 seconds to get my head right.
We didn't let you do that.
No.
No, not at all. I will say very quickly, our buddy, Lee, who writes the Destiny's Edge series,
a science fiction series.
Yes, he has said, and I don't know, it questions his intellect, but he's like, intersecting faith and science with Pope C is my favorite segment. So just throwing that out, and you're like, dude, I feel awesome.
It means a great
have
deal.
to agree.
You agree?
I do. I
even
enjoy
over
them.
your own Dear Daddy?
Oh, absolutely. I hate myself.
I have hot sauce though.
I just really enjoy.
When was the last time Creighton gave you
appreciate
hot sauce for his segment?
I don't give hot sauce for my segments.
All
I don't
right,
know
Dear
what to
Daddy,
tell
why do you say that?
I just really enjoy the way you bring the science into the faith and vice versa, and it's just it's interesting.
All right, solid plug.
really
Let's do
appreciate
this.
that.
Let's do this.
I wrote his theme song.
Yes, you
No,
sure
you
did.
didn't.
You and AI.
I had a part of it.
Okay,
Very
so
little.
to start off with, I'm going to ask the three of you guys a question. Have you ever noticed how
No.
strange it is that ice floats?
No.
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 No?
It's very clear.
Well, I mean, buoyancy is a thing.
Right. But
it
if
is
you
weird
look
that
at-
I don't float.
It's not weird that you don't float.
I'm just too hot.
If you look at it,
You see
in
what I did there? I'm too hot.
90% of natural substances, actually it's more like 99% of natural substances, density follows a very strict and consistent line. Gases are the least dense, liquids are middle, solids are the most dense. So if something is in its liquid form, it will be less dense than its solid form.
Okay, real quick. Then how
Because-
does ice float?
We're gonna get
Because
there.
water expands when it freezes.
It
I'm
does.
very confused right now. Like,
Yes,
Creighton
we're
just
gonna
teased me.
get there.
He has teased me.
slow.
I've been sucked into this.
So it is interesting. And when I say most things,
And you can put yourself on the screen.
Oh, I haven't. Yeah. Thank you.
And you can talk to the camera.
In most things,
You can look over there. Yeah.
to the point of most things.
Hey,
I
real
looked
quick,
up
put me back
what
on.
Things.
Put me back on. It's literally right there.
Yeah, thanks. They can't see your hand. So when I say most things, so water expands when it freezes. When it goes from a liquid to a solid, it expands. The only other things that do that are like a couple of isotopes of plutonium, and then elements like bismuth and antimony and other things and germanium. Water's one of the only things that expands when it freezes, which is fascinating. So the reason it expands is because it is polar. Do you guys know what I mean when I say that it's polar?
Expands when it freezes.
Yes.
Most things contract when it gets cold.
Yes.
Right, Dear Daddy?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, the pool was definitely cold.
Yeah.
And you'll know it because of the
Shrink.
contraction.
It shrinks.
Shrinkage, if
From
you
the
will.
bump on my butt.
I have no idea.
I don't get it.
Don't. Yep. I'm lost on that one.
Anyway, do you guys know what I mean when I say that water is polar? Do you know what that means molecularly with water?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Like there's bears involved?
No. So, water is constructed of a single oxygen atom and two hydrogen atoms that are bonded together through a covalent bond, which means that when they come together, they share electrons in their outermost shells. Because of the way that oxygen and hydrogen work, oxygen pulls the electrons more towards itself than the hydrogen atoms do. So water has a negative pole where the oxygen is negatively charged because it has more negatively charged electrons than the other side, which has the two hydrogen atoms, have less electrons. So you have a positive end and a negative end, very similar to a magnet.
So this is very
north and a south.
So it's very similar to the conversation we had in a previous ifs about chlorine.
Yes,
Okay.
also a covalent bond.
I'm learning.
Yes.
Learning. So continue.
So chlorine is also a covalent bond.
Hold on.
What?
That's probably the best thing I've heard all day. That he remembered something. From
I
that.
agree. No, that's very exciting.
That's very exciting for me.
Yes. So water is also a covalent bond. It
I
works
feel like I should have
very
been on the
similar.
camera.
Yeah,
And
sort of like a proud dad moment there, kind of thing.
Learning something.
So because water it's called dipolar. It has either pole. It is
this
able
the same
to,
for aqua?
Yes, it is the same for aqua because aqua is the Spanish word for water.
Oh, so
Same thing.
In Mexico, it still happens the same way.
Yes, it does.
Just learning stuff.
So because water is dipolar, it is
Dipolar?
able to dipolar. It has two poles.
Okay, gotcha. I'm
polar.
tracking.
Two poles. It is able to dissolve things like chlorine, which is why we can use chlorine to sanitize our pools. Because water dissolves chlorine, and now the chlorine is dissolved in water, it will kill the bacteria in the water.
That happens everywhere but at Larry's pool.
Well, that's not true. We have a very clean pool. Anyway,
subtle dig. We're definitely the Providence Club pool.
Because it is polar, it has a few very interesting properties. We will get to the fact that it expands when it freezes. But one of the other things is that because it's polar, it sticks to itself, which we call cohesion, and it sticks to other things, which is what we call adhesion. So like when you see water sticking to the side of your shower because it just sticks in whatnot, that is adhesion. It's because it has that almost magnetic polar thing, it sticks to stuff.
That's where we get the word adhesive.
That's where we get the word adhesive.
I just thought I didn't clean the shower.
Nope, it sticks because water sticks to things and it sticks to itself.
Interesting.
One of the biggest advantages that gives is that it allows plants to move water through their trunk, through dead cells, using respiration. As water is pulled out of the leaves, it follows a chain of linked molecules so that it pulls water out of the leaves through it's transpiration. What is the word I'm looking for? As it turns to gas. What's the word I'm looking for, Justin?
This is your show, not
I
mine.
know. As it transpires, the water leaves the leaves.
Evaporation, Johnny.
Evaporation is the word that I was looking for.
Transpiration.
Transpiration is a more specific word. But as the water evaporates out of leaves,
I just used a word?
It pulls water. Yeah, I know. As it pulls water out of leaves, it pulls the water along with it because they are all connected along these. I realize I see the camera, guys. Chill out. It pulls all these water molecules along with it, right?
You say that. You don't look at the camera.
I know. This is all because it is polar. Now, what happens when water freezes, the reason that it floats, that ice floats on water, is because it is polar, it falls into a lattice structure. Instead of just it falling together in whatever way, the way that it is in water, all of the molecules are moving around each other like this. They're all just moving around each other. When it freezes,
can
and
you
it slows down.
Not everybody is watching this. You need to describe what your hands are doing right now.
It just moves around.
His
itself.
fingers are
They're
making
sliding
love.
past each other.
Not only
very
that,
easily.
but there might be a large deaf community that might view what you're
guys are
doing
making
in a
this so
totally
much
different
worse.
way.
So as it freezes, as it cools, and as the molecules
Camera one.
stop moving,
Camera one. I don't know what that means in the deaf community. It's not what you meant.
As the molecules stop moving across each other so rapidly, what is allowed to happen is the negatively charged oxygen of one water molecule is able to form a hydrogen bond with the positively charged hydrogen atoms of another water molecule. Thus, they all lock into place in a lattice.
So
And
one
because
ice
of
cube
that-
will run from another ice cube?
No, one ice cube will stick to another ice cube. But what happens is it creates a single unit where the molecules are separated from each other.
Is this
They
what
are not
happens-
right up against each other?
Is this what
like
happens-
in normal solids?
Is that what happens when you stick your tongue to a frozen pole?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically what happens when you stick your tongue to a frozen pole is
Okay.
it freezes the water on your tongue.
Yes,
You brought in Christmas.
I did.
Yep.
You did that.
Solid
I saw that.
Christmas story. So what's
You
interesting
do love
is
Christmas.
what-
You've been faking it
what
this
this-
entire time.
What this allows is because it builds this lattice, water, when it freezes, floats on top, ice floats on top of water. If it didn't do that in lakes, ponds, and near the poles, what would happen is if water did not have this lattice structure, the top layer of water would freeze and fall to the bottom of whatever body of water it is.
I never thought of
and
this.
then the next top layer of water would freeze because the air above it is colder
and
than the freezing, and it would fall, and lakes would freeze from the bottom up instead of from the top down. And if you freeze from the bottom up, you kill everything in the lake.
Everything freezes.
Everything freezes. The whole body of water will freeze. Everything dies.
Have you ever seen the videos of like deep sea, like Arctic stuff?
Oh, the fingers of death.
Yeah, fingers of death with the crabs and stuff.
Yes.
Okay, that just what that reminds me of.
Those are, I'd have to look into exactly what the phenomenon is, but that's where a
super chilled column of
water comes down and does freeze the ocean
from
floor,
the bottom,
and everything around it dies.
So that's fascinating. I've never thought of any of that because, you know,
Why would you?
I played sports.
You weren't in the marching band?
Yeah, right. With the science club. Let's intersect faith and science. So very cool science tidbit.
Yes.
How does this tie into faith?
So the last time I did one of these ifs, I talked about the Crab Nebula, which is a supermassive body of gas way out in deep space. And I said that it was amazing.
All-seeing eye.
Yes. The eye of God is what it's called. And I talked about how that is a thing that God made because he loves us and he wanted to see us. And it was this huge thing. And how great must God be to be able to make something that large, which is all true. One of the things that annoys me the most when I hear people talking about, when I hear atheists talking about God, is that they will say, well, why does God care about man? Like how prideful must Christians be to believe that a God this big cares about us? And I say that not only does he care about us, but he cared so much about what he made on our planet that he designed the 2 electrons in water to move toward oxygen so that he wouldn't kill the fish in lakes when it got cold. He cares that much about us. He cares that much about what he made. He cares not because of who man is, but he cares because of who he is, and he is someone who cares.
And let me ask, honest question. There's no evolutionary explanation for why that happens the way that it does.
No, that is the
like it's
polarity
such an odd,
of water.
It's an odd thing.
Yeah. No, the polarity of water is not something that can evolve. That is either God doing a thing because he wants it to work a certain way.
Flawless design.
Or it's either flawless design or it is a complete coincidence that just kind of happened and worked out for us.
Which would be bonkers.
Which would be literally the only other things that expand when they go from a liquid to a solid are a couple of isotopes of plutonium and some random elements that appear almost infinitesimal in nature.
And Spice Daddy.
Hey, those Chinese buffets call out to me. What can I say?
Dude, I think that's such a cool thing. Let me ask you a very quick question. We don't have a lot of time here. So I've always, like, in conversations of people that talk about a new ice age, global warming, etc.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, dude, if I take a glass of water and I put ice in it and the ice melts, it's not like it overflows the cup.
That is a wonderful question that I've thought about, and I've not done enough research to answer.
Okay, maybe another.
I would
thing.
like to.
Okay, cool.
That might be my next ifs for the new year.
A tease for the new year.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, hey, I mean, there's no easy segue. Let's get to the second ho. Joshua chapter 2. Now, for the sake of time, I've got to kind of recap a story. Moses has died. Joshua has taken command of Israel. They are now entering the land of promise. They've crossed the Jordan. Amazing things. God parted the Jordan. They get to the first big fortified city. That fortified city is Jericho. And it's like, how are we going to deal with Jericho? I mean, Jericho is quite a thing. And so it's like, all right, let's send a couple spies in. Let's spy out the situation. Let's see what's going on, see how the walls, what strategy we might be able to take out. So they send some spies into Jericho. Now, they get into Jericho. There's some dicey stuff happening. Again, Joshua 2. You can read about it on your own. Now, these spies are kind of like, they're running for their lives. They're like, we've been found out. And they get to a house. Now, in ancient cultures, the walls were very thick. They were tall, they were thick, which is a great place for like apartments.
Can confirm.
Yeah. So like the walls of a city would have people living inside of the wall. Again, it's just a good utilization of space. So there would be like outdoor windows, but there would be indoor walls, and there would be people on top. So these spies, they get into Jericho, but they kind of like, oh no, we might have been discovered. So they're looking for a place to go. Now, easy access, the door of a whore, a hoe, a harlot. Now this lady who opens the door, because I mean she's got an open door, is business. Rahab. What?
Business. Open for business.
Open for business. So Rahab's like, yeah, come on in. And they're like, hey, we're not from here. We're from Israel. God's involved. We want to take the city. We're here for a reason. And like Rahab, who has a whole family. And again, she's making ends meet, selling her body. Terrible trade, but it's what she had. She's like evaluating the dynamic. And again, like the Israelites, the people of like, there have been rumors of what happened with Egypt and all these things. But like, remember, like leaving Egypt was 40 years ago. She was just, but maybe a child or not even a child. She'd heard all these things. And then these people cross the Jordan and they're like, millions of them. And she's like, she doesn't know much, but what she does know is that, man, like God seems to be involved. And so she decides, she's like, listen, I'll hide you. But when God gives you the city, please remember me and my family. And so the spies are like, absolutely, God preserves them. They escape, but they're like, hey, when this happens, you need to hang out of your window the scarlet thread, a cord, so that we know where you are. So she does. So again, all this is kind of recorded in Joshua chapter 2. And then you get to, again, flipping Joshua 6. Again, the walls have come down. Rahab's been preserved. Joshua 6 verse 17 reads, now the city shall be doomed by the Lord to destruction, it and all who are in it, only Rahab the harlot. So if you're like, I can't believe you're calling her a whore, the Bible does. Rahab the harlot shall live, she and all who are with her in her house, because she had hid the messengers that were there. And then you jump forward to verse 23, and the young men who had been spies went in. They brought Rahab, her father, her mother, her brothers, all that she had. They brought them out, their relatives, those left them outside the camp of Israel, but they burned the city, all that was in it with fire, only silver and gold, the vessels of bronze and iron. They put them into the treasury of the house of the Lord. And Joshua spared Rahab, the harlot, her father's household, all that she had. So she dwells in Israel to this day, because she hid the messengers whom Joshua had sent to spy out Jericho. So you have this story of this woman who has very little revelation of God, other than the fact that she recognizes there's something about this group of people. And they're attacking Jericho. These are her people. And she has an opportunity. Do I give up the spies, or do I preserve them? She decides to preserve them. And in that course, she makes them promise, take care of us. I'm doing this thing. And Joshua's good on it. So Jericho falls, but Rahab gets preserved. Now, there might not be a whole lot of information moving forward, But let me give you another passage. Hebrews 11, verse 30. We read, and by faith, the walls of Jericho fell down after they were encircled for 7 days. And that's kind of recapping the story here. But this is what's fascinating. By faith, the harlot, again, the ho-ho-hos of Christmas, the multiple times, even in the New Testament, the harlot Rahab, because again, this is where she was. This is what she did. This was a thing. The harlot Rahab, she did not perish with those who did not believe when she received the spies with peace. Meaning that she received the spies because she put her faith in the God of Israel. That's what saved her. It wasn't saving the spies. It's that she saved the spies because she put her faith. She put her faith in the God of Israel. And again, Rahab pops up again in the New Testament. Crazy. James chapter 2, verse 24. James writes, you see then that a man is justified by works and not by faith only. And again, James is dealing with this thing. It's a faith that works. And then his justification, verse 25, likewise, was not Rahab the harlot also justified or seen by God just as if she never sinned by her works? How? And again, it was a works produced by her faith when she received the messengers and sent them out another way, when she saved the spies. And so again, our second hoe of Christmas is this woman, Rahab. Fascinating character. Tamar, fascinating. Rahab, fascinating. Now, how does that tie into Christmas? Don't go anywhere. We'll get there in just a moment. Segueing. It's been fun. It's Christmas season. I know Spice Daddy's a big Christmas fan.
I am.
Before we get to things, I challenge you. I saw something on X. I was like, I need Spice Daddy's opinion. Now, I've been a believer that Die Hard, at least the first two, are absolutely Christmas movies.
100%.
They're Christmas movies. Now,
100%.
do they deal with Jesus, Mary and Joseph, Santa Claus, any of that? No.
No, but that's like the difference between Christmas Carol and Christmas Song.
They deal with Christmas.
They deal with Christmas.
Now, I saw on X that might expand our understanding here, and I wanted your opinion, so you take it from there.
As soon as I saw that Christmas tree in that picture, 100% Rambo.
The first one, first watch.
Yep, that's right.
I got to go home and watch it now.
Yeah.
There's a Christmas
It's a Christmas
tree.
movie.
That's
There's a Christmas
movie.
tree in one of the scenes.
This is
of
the
Rambo.
best day of my life. Rambo's
Right.
a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is wonderful. Thank you.
There's a Christmas tree. You keep talking. I'll pull up this picture.
How are you
blew
going
my
to show
mind.
the picture?
Don't worry about that. It's a Christmas miracle.
This is a Christmas miracle. This is like the best day of my life.
Rambo is apparently okay.
You don't even like Christmas, so you don't get a response to this.
You're totally right. I do like the first Die Hard movie, though. I have not seen the second.
Have you ever seen Rambo?
It's good.
I think I've seen First Blood Part 2. I don't know if I've seen Rambo. I don't know if I've seen First Blood.
You've never seen the
So have you guys seen
I don't think I've seen the first Rambo.
Nutcrackers?
like
the Nutcracker?
like the musical.
Listen. Rambo first watch. Tell me.
There's a Christmas tree.
There's a Christmas tree.
It's a Christmas
Right,
movie.
it's a
Christmas movie.
This is undisputed.
Yeah, that's such a good shot.
You have to watch Nutcrackers. It's got
There's a
Ben Stiller in
Christmas
it.
tree in Rambo.
He has to adopt his 3 recently orphaned children or orphaned nephews.
Despicable Me.
No, Nutcrackers. It's great. You guys have to watch
Listen,
it.
Grace.
He tells Rambo to his nephews as a bedtime story.
Oh, that's
and
great.
it's
Listen,
epic.
I
got
said
me.
this to
a
Spice
Christmas
Daddy.
movie.
I have to change a long-standing opinion of mine. Rambo is now an all-time favorite Christmas movie because there is a Christmas tree in it.
Agreed.
I will say, by the way, I don't know, you guys haven't seen it. Me and the Boys, greatest Christmas movie ever. Christmas Twisters.
I went home and watched it after Outlaw last week. I went home and watched
What
it.
not
was your
seen
thought
it.
about Christmas Twisters?
Terrible. I loved it.
Absolutely. No, that's the reaction. The scene where they're out in front of the mall and the kids like trying to hang on to the doors. You're like, yeah, that should happen. So Rambo,
my goodness.
Christmas. You're gonna have to redo a Christmas list next year.
Yeah, I haven't done a Christmas movies yet.
This changes.
No,
everything.
he hasn't. He has not done Christmas
never
movies.
did a Christmas
We should do
movies.
one in the middle of summer for fun.
Christmas in
absolutely.
July.
Christmas in July.
Yeah, it's done.
Anytime.
Yep.
All right, you want to cue up the...
Yeah, cue up Pepper Poppers.
Turn it up, it's time to get poppin'. Just a Spice Daddy ho, couldn't no stoppin'. Diving into Christian pop with flair. Movies, books, and faith beyond compare. From the big screen to the pages we read, he's got the spice to fill your every need. With a like and grin, he brings the heat. Pepper Poppers, yo, it's the ultimate beat. Pepper Poppers, spice it up, let's go. Justin's breaking down a Christian show. Movies, books, and faith, he's got the vibe. Spice Daddy's here to keep it live. Pepper Poppers feel the fire, so true. Pop with purpose, he's talking to you.
All right, because we get
What's up, my little pepper poppers? Welcome back to another episode of my top 10s.
we gotta jump
hang
in.
on.
I get it. I'm into this now. So
We've got a technical difficulty here because
No, I don't think we do. Let's just go
Okay,
with
let's
it.
introduce
Live
the-
no. Don't
introduce the
talk
hot
about
sauce.
Just introduce the hot sauce. Don't read the
no,
ingredients.
read the ingredients.
No,
the
we'll get to
hot
that.
sauce is called Whiskey Smoked Ghost. And Justin informed me a long
you
time
try
ago that the first ingredient of the hot sauce
It's the most prominent flavor.
determines the most prominent flavor.
Raw.
So we got apple cider vinegar, white balsamic vinegar, onions, tomato paste, fresh vine ripened organically grown tomatoes, date syrup, organic dates, Uncle Nearest 1856 whiskey, and the very last ingredient is smoked ghost chilies. I had a little preview because there was a drip hanging off the edge of the bottle after I poured everybody's.
Community glass.
Good luck, boys.
No,
Hand me the bottle.
I just dipped my tongue into it real fast. My tongue is on fire.
Okay, let's get a little bit of this.
Yo, that is...
Yeah.
that's
I was hoping for this.
I got a little cocky because I took
And you know what?
Justin's theory of ingredients order to heart.
But you know what?
It's going to be fun.
This top 10 song deserves this.
It is not as hot as that
Napalm.
napalm that we put in our bodies
We already agreed that was Frank's fault.
a little while ago. And it is way better tasting.
Okay, I want.
But I am not.
All right, number
shooting
10.
This.
Yeah, you are.
No, I am not.
Yeah, you are.
I'm going to do a little
absolutely not.
recap.
I want to recap.
All right, number 10 was God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen.
God rest ye merry gentlemen. Let
Oh,
nothing you
speaking of
display.
this, so my sister who watches the show,
Lost
shout
my
out.
voice.
Yeah, she said we need an album and we're going to call it Musicals.
That might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Musicals.
No, I like it a lot.
Yeah,
Musicals.
it's because it's your sister.
Yep. Number 9, Hark Ye Herald Angels Sing.
Hark the herald angels sing.
Number 8, O Come All Ye Faithful.
Oh, come all ye faithful.
Number 7, I Heard the Bells.
I heard the bells on Christmas.
Number 6, Joy to the World.
Joy to the world.
Number 5, Go Tell It on the Mountain.
Go tell it
My
on the
favorite.
mountain.
Number 4,
Really good.
Come Thou Long Expected Jesus.
Come thou long.
You're close.
I have no idea.
Number 3, Carol of the Bells.
Carol.
My favorite.
Number 2, O Holy Night.
Oh. All right.
And now,
All right. No, we're going to pause for a second because we're going to guess. Oh. We're going to guess. I'm throwing you for a wrinkle. You didn't know this was coming.
no, of course not.
Yeah, that's right. That's how this
I
rolls.
should have read his list.
So
I
we're
never
going to
had
guess. We're going to guess what Justin's favorite Christmas
I
carol
can tell you what it isn't.
No, you can't say
Honorable
anything.
mentions.
You can't say anything.
Okay.
Because the honorable mentions might come from us.
Okay.
So Pope Creighton.
Because I have the opportunity, I'm going to say one of Justin's honorable mentions, and it's Christmas Shoes.
Definitely
the
not.
worst Christmas song of all time.
How does it go?
So I want
really
to
have
buy
go to the bathroom,
these
so we can't do this
shoes
too long.
for my mama, please.
Yeah, this is terrible.
Oh, it's so bad. It's emotional terrorism. It's about a kid trying to buy shoes.
It's also
on Christmas
funny that Justin's
Eve.
got to pee and he's
I
dying.
really gotta pee.
It's about a kid trying to buy
Oh,
shoes
so we're
on
dragging
Christmas
this out on
Eve.
purpose.
You know,
yeah.
while y'all are
Because
while
his
y'all
mom
are
is dying. You
can't
can't go any. You're
Oh
in the
my gosh,
middle.
we're leaving.
We're
leaving in the middle of
of your segment.
Oh my
what
goodness.
do we do now?
We can talk about shoes.
You know what we do? We get to
The
the
third
third horror of Christmas.
Done.
Go for it.
This one's an easy one. And this, like, I feel a little bit hard about calling her a whore. But it's deserving. David is king of Israel. David instigates it. Goes up on a rooftop. Sees a woman bathing. He didn't bathe on a rooftop with a lot of, like, concealment. David should have turned away, but he didn't. Because she's a babe. She's bathing, and she's a Sheba. That's why we call her Bathsheba. I know, Creighton. That was the low-hanging fruit. But David inquires who this woman is. This is all 2 Samuel 11. Sends for, and you know what? Takes two to tango. So even though, yes, it's true, the king has influence, is like an impression, she's married to another man. She could have said no. She could have said time out, but she doesn't. Bathsheba rolls with it and becomes a character in it. Again, it takes two to commit adultery. That is the second of the hoes.
Third.
The third. The third of the hoes. Thank you. Now, our boy's still not back from the restroom. So we're going to tie this together. Like, what are we doing? Why are we talking about the three hoes of what is Tamar and Rahab and Bathsheba anything to do with Christmas? Well, I want you, if you have a Bible, to turn to Matthew. Matthew chapter 1. And I'll get there eventually. Let's get there. I didn't put a tag in here for Matthew. There we
That
go.
was an oversight.
It was an oversight, but I'm getting there. We got to kill time
got
because
time.
Justin has to pee like a racehorse.
Like a small child.
It's fascinating that in Matthew opens, and again, Matthew's the gospel writer that is presenting Jesus as the king of the Jewish people. And for you to be a king of the Jewish people, you have to fit like certain genealogical profiles. Obviously, you got to be a descendant of Adam. You got to be a descendant of Abraham. You got to be a descendant not of Ishmael, but Isaac, Jacob. You have to be a descendant of Judah. And then you have the Davidic covenant. You got to be a descendant of David. Like, you have to be able to be the Messiah. You have to be able to prove lineage, rightful claim to the throne. Now, so Matthew opens his gospel. And again, this is coming off the Old Testament. Malachi, there's been 400 years of silence. The first thing we get, so this is the genealogy of Jesus Christ, Jesus the Christ, the Messiah, the son of David, the son of Abraham, the two notable characters. And then we're given a list. Abraham begot Isaac, Isaac begot Jacob, and Jacob begot Judah by his brothers. Judah begot Perez, and Zerah, how? Through his wife? No, he had Onan, and Shelah. But what does it say? That Judah begot Perez and Zerah by Ho1, Tamar. And Perez, the first son of Judah and Tamar, begot Hezron. Hezron begot Ram. Ram begot Abinadab. Abinadab begot Nahshon. And Nahshon begot Solomon. Solomon begot Boaz by Rahab. So Rahab and her family choose God and the children of Israel. And there was a process by which they could be grafted in. And this guy, Solomon, who's a Jew, decides to marry Rahab, this harlot. He loves her. And through their union, their firstborn is this guy Boaz. Now, if you're like, wait a second, I've heard the name Boaz. Yeah, there's a whole book written about Boaz, 4 chapters, but the book of Ruth, read it. Ruth, who's a Moabitess, comes to the land of Israel. Naomi, there's the whole failed thing. It all happens. But there's this love story of her and Boaz, the son of Rahab and Solomon. Amazing. Now, so Solomon begot Boaz by Rahab. Boaz begot Obed by Ruth. Obed's son is a guy named Jesse. Not really that significant, other than the fact that we're told, and Jesse begot David, the Davidic covenant, the king. Now, David had multiple wives, so how's this all going to work? David, the text continues, the king begot Solomon by her, who had been the wife of Uriah. Solomon begot Rehoboam. Rehoboam begot Abijah. Abijah begot Asa, and it continues. My point, how amazing is it? Like, of all the ways that God could, like, craft a story, a family, with the birth of Jesus, that you would include, and then again, God's sovereign in all of this. There's not an accident. There's purposes behind it all. That he would include Tamar, a pagan Canaanite woman placed into difficult circumstance, that she does what she has to do to try to preserve the legacy of her husband. But Tamar, because of her actions, is part of what? She's part of the lineage of Jesus Christ. And then you get to Rahab, who's a harlot living in Jericho. Life has been ripped off. And yet, according to the New Testament, it was by faith. Faith in God. The promises of God. A God she didn't know. With very little revelation. That she has a decision to make, that she preserves these spies. And it's a scarlet cord that saves her family. And not only does she become part of the family of God, but then she ends up marrying a guy, a Hebrew man. Again, she's been a whore. And yet Solomon gives her grace and marries her. And they have a child, Boaz. And it's this man, Boaz, that sees another Moabitess, a non-Jew, and he has the same type of compassion that his father did. And he marries Ruth. And then you end up with David. David, the lineage should have been with Michael, but that got messed up. And he had married other women, and that was not part of God's will. And then he made a terrible decision, and he committed adultery. And then he had her husband murdered. And it was just this terrible thing. And their first child dies. It's a consequence of judgment, and yet in God's grace, they have another son, a son of peace, Solomon, Salem. That son of peace God loved, and he became not only the next king of Israel, but would be part of the lineage, the heir to the throne that would descend down to Jesus. You think your family's screwed up? So is Jesus's. And yet, shouldn't we take heart that God can even take dysfunction, that he can birth himself into dysfunction? Again, what's the commonality of really all three of these ho-ho-hos of Christmas? Is that at some point, for various reasons, they ended up placing their faith in a great and benevolent God, a gracious God, And it was because of God's grace that even these women with very checkered pasts get included in the lineage of Jesus. I find that to be such an encouragement, such a cool thought that I wanted to share it with you tonight. Now, Justin's done peeing, apparently. And so now we've got to, again, blessed are the flexible, they won't be broken.
Didn't you just start talking about chaos and how screwed up people's families are? So is ours.
That's actually a great point because we are a bit of a family.
We are screwed up.
And
Happy Merry Christmas, by the way, guys.
And
Merry Christmas, Creighton.
to my
Creighton, you're gonna
excuses.
You're gonna do this with me, Justin. Here, we gotta go.
No.
No, we're
Zach,
doing this.
You do not want to do that.
I already got through my thing, so we're just
Yeah,
we're
do
all
it.
gonna do this together.
Oh, this is gonna be bad.
Wait. We gotta recap.
I went to the bathroom. I gave you guys time to guess. What were your guesses?
We haven't guessed yet.
Oh, okay.
I segued, so we gotta guess.
Jingle bells.
Sorry about that.
you-
We've gone longer than we normally do. So
No, we're not. We're not at 30 minutes yet. So
Yeah, but that's
9:30 is
still
normally
longer.
where our longest is.
So Benny, you're
Longest, but
going.
not
You're
what
going
normal
Jingle
is.
Bells.
Yeah, it's got to be on his top 10.
Nope.
Okay, Pope C.
Justin's friend Mark says Silent Night. I know that it's not that because Justin hates that song.
I do not like that song at all.
I think
Okay, so I was gonna go Silent Night because it's like that seems to be the most obvious because it wasn't on the list.
really dislikes that
don't
song.
like. I put that up there with Christmas shoes.
He's wrong. I think it's Oh Holy Night.
No, that was
All right,
two.
that was two. Somebody
that was
wasn't
close.
paying attention to my list.
No, it wasn't. Apparently not.
Wait, so
I went through the whole list.
real quick, so
so sorry.
So Silent Night is not one.
No, I don't
He
like.
does
Silent
not like
Night.
that song because, and this is a direct quote,
Historic-
it wouldn't have been a silent night.
No, it wouldn't
They
have
would have been around animals and whatnot.
Not just animals, but you have a massive thing where everybody's
All right,
going back
I've
to the
got.
cities.
Here's my guess. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
It's a good
That's
one.
not a
but
Christmas carol.
it's not a
It's a
Christmas,
Christmas
carol.
song.
It's a Christmas song. But I
Oh.
do like that song.
My bad.
I'm right there with you, apparently.
He actually
forgot it
told
was
me
carols,
what it was
not
on
songs.
Sunday, and I don't remember.
That's because you don't
All
listen
right,
to
all
me.
right, all right. Glasses up. Let's hear it.
Are we ready?
This is
And
going
then-
to be
and then-
bad.
all right.
And then go for it.
Before we go for it, here's to you, my little pepper poppers.
Creighton, you are going to do what I did.
I was going to wait for you to do it.
You chickened out.
No, I was going to wait for you to do it.
That's not that bad.
All right, we
That's
gotta go.
good.
All right,
I would
fair.
eat that as a soup.
1, 2, 3. Got to do it.
Do it.
I would dip grilled
Everybody's
cheese
watching.
sandwiches in that.
Yeah, that's good.
Delicious.
That's not that hot.
That's very good.
That's very
It
tasty.
is very good.
It's got a kick.
It's going to creep
A
up.
grilled
okay,
cheese
but-
sandwich,
Yeah,
no doubt.
that'd be good.
My number one.
Woo!
Here it comes.
Eyes are watering.
O come, Emmanuel.
Bad, but
Now it's creeping up.
One of my favorites.
Oh come,
Emmanuel, that's right.
O
There we go.
come, Emmanuel. And it kind of fits that theme
I
of.
can't sing.
There is a little bit of heat behind it.
A little.
Dude, it's coming hard.
It was originally titled, and Creighton might get this, Vinny
It's like behind your
Emmanuel.
wisdom teeth.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, Vinny is Latin for I come.
What?
That's not. That's
Like,
no.
Winnie,
That's not
Vinny,
Latin
Vinny,
for anything.
Emmanuel.
Winnie, Weedy, Weechi, I came, I saw, I conquered.
Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. Dude,
Okay,
he
fine.
comes in hard. Vinny,
Keep
you're
going,
feeling
Justin.
Yeah.
It is one of the oldest and most beloved Advent hymns in Christianity.
it. I need milk. Eggnog.
Need some milk. He needs some milk.
Dude, the tori behind my front teeth are burning.
Dude, I told you.
That made my Eustachian tubes hurt.
It
I
doesn't
don't
have,
even know what that is, but dude, it came in.
Right here. Right
Yeah,
here.
it's a little hot.
No, I get it like,
for those of you that don't remember, Zach didn't participate in the
didn't.
last one we did that we really.
For the record, this is not as bad as that.
It's not as bad as that. Anyway, this song has origins in the 8th and 9th centuries. I didn't know it was that old. The text is based on the ancient O antiphons, 7 short Latin prayers sung on the 7 days leading up to Christmas Eve in medieval Catholic liturgy.
Y'all rubbing your eyes.
In 12th century, they were compiled into a Latin hymn with a refrain, "Gode," meaning rejoice. The exact melody we know today also dates to roughly around this time period. It was preserved in Franciscan sources. Are you okay?
I'm good.
Okay. In the 19th century, it saw a revival through John Mason Neal, who discovered the Latin text Veni Bene Emmanuel in a book in Portugal. Oh, Creighton's taking his shirt off. He really
Just keep going. My goodness, guys.
Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I didn't know the hot sauce would affect you this much. That's why they call me the Spice Daddy and not anybody else.
When it says hot sauce, it doesn't spell it hot. It's Haute.
Yeah, it's hot.
So,
Hot sauce.
hot sauce. All right.
But then it says underneath it in small hot sauce.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Whiskey smoke. It's got good flavor. I will
Very
give
good
it that.
flavor.
So discovered the Latin text.
What was the final, by the way? I'm blanking. It was a Silent Night.
All I hear is
come
ghost
Emmanuel.
pepper.
O come, Emmanuel.
1856.
You are sweating.
Yeah, you're glistening.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, you got a bit of a glistening going.
Your face is
We
moist.
call it a glow.
All right. So he translated it, slightly adapted in English as draw nigh, Emmanuel. O come, Emmanuel. The tune happened in about the 15th century, and then it was paired with Neil's text by Thomas Helmore in 1856. So, yeah, one of my favorites. Again, it goes back to the other ones where it's talking about the expected Savior and then the expected Savior. And then one of the things I love most, I love this text, of course, talking about Savior, Jesus. But I heard it translated into Hebrew and hearing it from like a Jewish person in Israel. And it just kind of was like, man, and they're
What would it sound like?
They were believers. They were believers in. But like hearing a Jewish person sing that and like translating it just into my life, right? Like I know Jesus has come, but there's certain times in my life where I'm like, Jesus, I need you here. Like Emmanuel means God with us. I need you with me now, kind of thing. And that just kind of sums.
You know
up
what? I feel
everything.
that right now.
I'm blowing snot boogers.
All right, Zach, get us out of here.
Dude, I'm just going to read this. At Marshall's, you hitting music. I'm not even close to that.
But that's part of
Get the music off.
Sorry, that was part of the outro. Was
At blah, 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 we enjoy a good cocktail. Blah, 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 blah. We celebrate the art of canning, preserving, blah, 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 blah. Inspired to develop this smoky booze kiss sauce to honor that common ground. Whiskey Smoked Ghost is silky smooth.
It was silky smooth.
Fiery bite that keeps us coming back for more. Try it on grilled meats. What meat would you put this on?
Grilled cheese sandwiches.
Right, meat.
That tastes good on chicken, like your grilled chicken.
Or roast root vegetables.
Like a potato or a carrot.
God, I got like heartburn already coming.
Yeah, me too,
Dude, a
bud.
good pot roast.
You're feeling that.
that would be.
All right, let's give some programming information before we get out of here. Happy New Year. We're off for 4 weeks because of this. Can't have any more of that. But got some cool things going on. So next week, yeah, we're not going to have Outlaw Radio because we're Christmas caroling, which is Justin's favorite thing.
Love it.
But at 8 o'clock, we're going to release an edited version of an interview that we did with a guy by the name of Mike Bauer. It's a fantastic interview, a wonderful testimony. So that's on the 17th. And then Christmas Eve, the 24th, the 31st, both Wednesday nights, New Year's Eve. There'll be no episodes at all. And then the 7th of January, we will also be off, but we're going to release an interview with a good friend of ours, Steve Hamilton, edited. You'll enjoy it. So it'll be the 14th of January. You'll have to wait. And then we'll be back. We've got a whole bunch of things planned. We're excited about the new year. Now, Spice, you can hit me some music as I'm sweating under my eyeballs. Thank you for joining us for the Outlaw Radio Show. Again, my name is Zach Adams. If you're watching, check out the podcast. Released Apple, Google, Spotify. If you're listening, check out the live stream. Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. We'll be off for 4 weeks, but you can go to outlawradio.live, our YouTube channel. You can catch up on past episodes. Don't forget, check out Holiday Season's book series, Destiny's Edge. And then as always, check out Get Fed Today, which is a podcast to help you study God's Word. Join us Sundays, Calvary 316, calvary316.org.com.tv.live, our website. Thanks for joining us. God bless. We will see you guys 2026.
Who poured those shots?